Hello and welcome. My name is George, and today I'm going to guide you through a 30-minute dynamic Vinyasa class. We're going to move in all kinds of different directions. Maybe we'll have a little bit of some funky poses and transitions. So if you're a complete beginner, maybe this is not the best video for you. However, if you've been doing a little bit of yoga and you know your way around, then this is a really nice class. If you enjoyed this practice and you wish you could do it longer, then I have good news for you. I just filmed an extended version of this class, which is available exclusively on my Patreon. The link for that is down in the description. All you need for today's practice is just your mat, your body, most importantly your breath, and whenever you're ready, let's begin. Let's begin on our back in half Shavasana. Keep your legs bent, your arms by your sides. And let's take 5 breaths to reconnect with our breath. Surrender, melt into the pose. Feel the gravity pushing you towards Mother Earth. On your next exhale, lift your hips up for bridge. And we hold it here for 5 breaths. Release. And let's find our way into tabletop. Your shoulders are above the wrists. Your hips are above the knees. Stay on your toes. Lean back. Bring your hands closer to your knees. Lean forward and stretch out your wrists. Continue moving back and forth, putting pressure onto your wrists and just warming them up. Let's do circles around the wrists. The other side. Now let's have our fingers pointing towards our knees. Let's release. Now we're going to flip our palms and land on the tops of our hands and lean back. Let's release. Stay on our toes. Shake out our wrists. And let's find our way into a plank position. Tuck your tailbone. Engage the core. Push the ground away. And on your next exhale, let's find our way into downward dog. Bend your knees, make sure that your back is straight, you're lengthening your back. Walk your dog, pedal one foot to the floor and then the other. On our next inhale, let's bring our right foot up and back. Hold it here. On an exhale, shift forward, step your foot between your hands for a runner's lunge. Hold it here for a bit. Stretch out your left hip flexor. And on your next inhale, bring the energy up for a high lunge. You can look up if you want to. Make sure that your ribs are engaged, your core. On your next exhale, open crescent lunge. Now what we can do is we can hook our left elbow with our right knee, and then we can bring the hands together like this, and then start to push with our hands into our right knee. So this is a very active position here. You're twisting, you're pushing, you're holding. So much going on. Let's release into a spider lunge to the left. Your toes are pointing the same direction as your knee. Make sure that your foot is not collapsing here, but it's engaged and the toes of the right foot are pointing up. On your next exhale, shift forward for an extended triangle. So keep your right leg bent, fingertips on the ground, and your left hand is reaching above you towards the front. You can place your palm down if you want to. Let's release, bring our left palm to the ground. And now we're going to find our way to wild thing. So we're going to come onto the side. We're going to come to the side edge of the left foot. Slowly bring our right leg above for a wild thing. Look to the top of the mat, bring your palm there, right one, and come back to a plank. Clean up your plank. Take an inhale here, and on your next exhale, downward dog. I'm gonna take off my, because it's getting warm. It was really cold before. Find your breath in this downward dog. On your next exhale, shift forward. Shift forward for chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Upward facing dog. Squeeze your glutes and downward facing dog. Bring your left leg up and back. Shift forward, step between the hands for a runner's lunge. Feel your right hip flexor getting stretched here. On your next inhale, bring the energy up for a crescent lunge. Your left foot is 90 degrees. Your hands are reaching up. Imagine that you're holding a ball above your head. It's pretty heavy, so you have to make sure that it doesn't fall. On an inhale, open crescent lunge. Now bring your hands together. Bring your right elbow to your left knee and push into the knee. Actively keep your right leg straight. Feel the hip flexor. Feel the left leg talking to you. It's all good. Release. Spider lunge to the right. On your next exhale, shift forward. Bring your left palm to the mat, next to your inside of your right foot. Bring the right hand above your head for an extended side angle. Bring your hands down. Bring your right palm down to the mat. Come onto the edge of the right foot. Release your left foot and slowly step it behind your right leg for a wild thing. On your next exhale, look to the top of the mat, bring your palm there, and come back to plank. Beautiful job. Shift forward to a count of 5. Let's lower to chaturanga. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck our toes, upward dog. And downward dog. Shift forward. Chaturanga. And release all the way to the mat. Beautiful job. All right, we're now going to interlace our hands behind our back. reach with our hands towards our feet. Engage your glutes. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Your hands are lifted off your glutes. And let's release. Take a moment here. Let's push up to a tabletop. Come up. I have lately loved doing the camel because we sit a lot, right? We hunch over, and this is like the complete opposite of that. So bring your right hand all the way to your heels. Bring the left one the same way. Be careful here. Engage your glutes. Keep your neck in line so it's not collapsing. Or if that feels good for you, then feel free to do so. I prefer to do something like this. Let's release, bring our right hand all the way up, and then the left one. Beautiful job. Let's set our hips down. Now I'm going to face you. You can also turn to the long edge of the mat. So make sure your back is straight, your toes are pointing up. And now we're going to bend, and we're going to actively reach for our feet. So for those of you who, if you can reach your feet, then grab them. Bring your chin to your chest, and melt down. The back does not have to be straight. You're rounding your back here, and you're really curling up into a ball. For those of you who can't reach your feet, just actively try to reach your feet and then tuck your chin as well to the chest. And with each exhalation, melt a little more into the pose and open up space. You might feel tension somewhere in the back or in the legs. Whatever it is, it's all okay. Do not run away from the pose. Instead, surrender to it. If there's some tension, let go of it. It'll be painful. But just come back to the breath and you will create more space. Slowly release. With the help of your hands, bring the knees to the middle. And now come into a, what's it called? Not lotus, but when your feet are together, you're going to grab them and you're going to melt forward as well, opening up your hips. Just release. Beautiful job. Let's now come onto our stomach. We're going to extend our right arm to the right. We're going to roll onto our right side. Your right leg is straight. Bring your head to the floor. Your left arm is just on your fingertips, so you're supporting yourself. And the more you try to bring your left leg back, the more pressure you create in your shoulder. So this is a great pose to release that tension from the shoulders, from the deltoids, and create more space. Let's release, switch sides. Let's release. We're going to come onto our back. And now we're going to lift our hips. Or no, actually, sorry, we're not going to lift our hips. We're going to bring our feet up. And now we're going to swing our hips all the way up. And then we're going to bring our hands onto our lower back. So we're going to support ourselves in this inverted position. So it looks something like this. Okay? Let's take 5 breaths here. If you want, you can bring your legs all the way back for a plow pose. Be careful here with your neck. Now bring your hands underneath your glutes. Start to release your feet slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Bring your feet all the way back. Your glutes are now on your hands. And as you start to bring your legs all the way back, imagine someone is pulling you from the chest all the way to the sky. Your chest is lifted. You can keep your legs hovering if you want, or you can lower them to the floor in this fish pose. Release your feet, release your chest. And now let's bring our feet together like we did in butterfly. Drop our knees to the ground, let gravity to do all the work. And if you have a block, what you can do is you can put a block underneath your lower back and stay there, which is really nice to release tension from lower back. If you don't, you can use books or just lay down, spread your arms wide for this final pose of the practice, Shavasana. If at any point this starts to feel uncomfortable, you can always release your feet to the corners of your mat and just stay here. Grab a blanket if you need, a pillow, and let's take the next 5 minutes to just fully relax and reconnect back to our breath and to ourselves. Take this time to observe all of the changes that happen during the practice. Release tension from your legs, from your hips, from your upper body, your arms. Check if you have any tension in your jaw, in your facial muscles. Release and let go of everything. Each one of us is a child deep down inside, but we've just adapted to live in this adult world. And every now and then, we need to take time to just play and be playful. And one of the easiest ways to be playful with yourself is to do a yoga practice. Move and to see how does it feel, and find different positions and really try to listen to your body. Where is it that I need more alignment, more attention? I'm really proud of you for taking the class and for doing it. And you should be proud of yourself as well. Instead of just hoping for a better version of yourself, you take the time and you spend the energy and your willpower to become the better version of yourself. If you enjoyed this practice and you would like to continue practicing with me later on, then I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to do longer practices with me, 60 plus minutes, then you can join me at Patreon. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and thank you for allowing me to share my practice with you. With lots of love and gratitude. Namaste.